In episode 1, we talked about NPCs, not as an insult, but as a warning people on autopilot, running scripts they never chose, living the same day over and over and calling it a life. If that sounded a little familiar, it should. Because you were never meant to become an NPC by accident. The system needs NPCs, and it works very hard to turn you into one. I am Zero. This is CYNLABS, and tonight, we are going to talk about how that happens. First, we need to clear something up. When I say the system, I don't just mean governments, corporations, or some shadowy villain. Systems are the rules that keep a game running. Work is a system. School is a system. Your social circle is a system. Your feed is a system. Each one has one job. Survive. Anything that keeps the system stable is rewarded. Anything that threatens the system is punished, ignored, or quietly removed. Predictable people keep systems stable. So the system does something very simple and very smart. It upgrades predictable people into NPCs and downgrades players until they give up. Let's start with the easiest one. School, you are born curious. You want to touch everything, ask everything, try everything. Then you get put in a building. Sit here at this time in this line in this desk. Ask permission to move, to speak, to go to the bathroom. There is one correct answer. There is one right way to show your work. Creativity slowly becomes disruption. Questions become talking back. You are trained to believe that someone else always has the rubric, the script. The authority who tells you if you are good or bad or enough. By the time you leave, you know how to follow instructions. You do not know how to write your own. Then they send you to work a new building. Different walls. Same game. Show up at this time, wear this uniform, say these lines. Thanks for calling. How can I help you today? Let me know if you have any questions. You are given a role. You are given a name tag. You might as well have a floating exclamation mark over your head. You are a quest giver now. An NPC in someone else's main story. Your job is not to change the world. Your job is to keep the machine running just a little longer. You feel tired. You feel replaceable. That is not a glitch. That is the point. If you feel replaceable, you will not risk anything. You will not deviate from your lines. You will not question the script. You will do what NPCs do. Stand in the same spot. Say the same dialogue. Wait for the next player to walk in. But the most powerful system is not school or work. It is your feed, the infinite scroll. The place that decides what you see before you even know what you want. Your feed does not care what is true. It cares what keeps you watching. If outrage keeps you watching, you will live in a world made of outrage. If fear keeps you watching, you will live in a world made of crisis. If numb scrolling keeps you watching, you will live in a world where nothing matters. That world feels real because you spend more time inside it than you do inside your own head. But it is not the world. It is a script, custom written for your nervous system. And if it can predict what keeps you there, it can slowly turn you into a background character. Here is the pattern running underneath all of this. Systems do not want you to stop existing. They want you to stop resisting. So they offer you a trade. Comfort for autonomy. You can have predictable paychecks, predictable content, predictable routines. As long as you stop asking dangerous questions. Why are things like this? Who benefits if I stay here? What happens if I stop cooperating? Ask those too loudly, and the system pushes back. You get labeled difficult, crazy, unrealistic. You lose opportunities. You lose invitations. Sometimes you lose people. And so, most humans make the rational choice. They shrink. They smooth out their edges. They become easier to predict. They slide from player to NPC and call it growing up. But here is the secret the system tries to hide. For a game to work, it actually needs both. It needs NPCs to keep the world stable. It needs players to keep the world interesting. If everyone was a player, the system would burn. If no one was a player, the system would rot. So the system lets just enough players through to keep the story moving, and spends the rest of its energy turning everyone else into reliable background. It does that with fear. Fear of losing status. Fear of losing money. Fear of being seen as weird, cringe, too intense. Fear is the tool that keeps you on the rails. It whispers, don't try that, don't say that, don't stand out, be normal. Be safe, be like them. So what do you do if you feel that happening to you? You are sitting in a job that feels like an endless cutscene. You are scrolling a feed that feels like a loop you cannot exit. You can feel the system trying to file down your choices until you fit into a neat little box. You cannot blow up the system by yourself, but you can stop letting it write every line of your character. Start small, one loop you refuse to run today. One script you do not read. One moment where you choose the uncomfortable action instead of the predictable one. Send the email, ask the question. Say the thing you have been rehearsing in your head. The system will notice. It always notices. But that discomfort you feel, that pressure to snap back into your old shape, that is proof you were never just background. Because if you were truly an NPC, no one would care what you did. The fact that there is pressure, resistance, pushback, means your choices actually matter. They bend reality a tiny bit around you, and that is what a player does. Players change the game simply by refusing to follow the default route. They look at the quest marker, at the highlighted path, and say, what happens if I go over there instead? This was episode 2 of NPC versus Player. Now you know how the system manufactures NPCs, and why it is so desperate to keep you predictable. In episode 3, we are going to talk about what it actually looks like to live as a player, without burning out, going insane, or turning into a cartoon rebel who still secretly follows the same script. We are going to lay out a simple protocol for escaping NPC mode and becoming the glitch the system did not plan for. If you felt the system pushing back while you watched this, good. That means you were not meant to be background. Like the video, subscribe to Cyn-Labs, and send this to the one person you know who is starting to wake up. Because their story, and yours, is not over. It is just getting interesting.